There's a battle between good and evil right now. And I'm just bringing this up, guys, because we are in a battle and it's real. It's happening right now. And many will fall asleep or forget or go into slumber. Like, they just won't know what's happening. It's like a big cloud of goof, depression, sadness. Like, they'll just cave in instead of go out. Why are we bringing this up? Because lately there's been an intensification of forces of the Antichrist forces that are trying to dominate and to take over the minds and hearts of people. It is active in the unconscious, trying to create narratives of falsehood and oppression and selfishness and all kinds of things. And it's the way it operates is that it attacks silently in the unconscious, and many are not aware that they may be feeling something's off, maybe feeling a little bit more angry, more impatient, maybe more gossipy, or just distracted, busy, or you may not have a desire for the Creator, to even know the Creator, to spend time with the Creator. Or it may manifest in the form of negative thought forms, of self-defeating thoughts or self-hate. It may manifest in the form of, depression, turning away from love and joy and stealing that away from you, right? It manifests in different ways, guys. But one thing is that these forces exist and are playing in the unconscious mind. We are responsible to be conscious of this, because if we're not conscious, then we don't have free will choice to make a choice. We can't choose when these forces are operating and we are not aware of them. Yesterday, there was an energy, this is my personal experience, there was an energy around, and the narrative or thought process of this energy that was around was that it was just basically trying to tell me God doesn't exist, that it doesn't need God, that it is its own God, that it doesn't want to work with God. It wants to make its own decisions without the Creator. It often operates in its own vortex of selfishness and greed and entitlement. It is based upon its own will and does not include the will of the Creator. It has no desire to include a higher power. It has no desire to connect with the Creator, because that is the form, that is the energy of the Antichrist. And when it shows up, and like yesterday when it did, and other times, but yesterday it was very strong, it is trying to dominate the minds and hearts of people, to impact behaviors and behaviors where people just unconsciously follow its narrative and do as it would do. Unless one is conscious, you will not know that this is happening in the unconscious. When you're aware, then you can make a free will choice to say what you choose. For me, I chose the opposite. I said, I won't follow your path, because that path is towards destruction, depression, and suicide. It does not follow the will of love. It does not follow the will of the Creator. And I know that the Creator's will is for me to thrive and succeed and to live a life of prosperity and abundance. The only way that we can truly live that is if we're following the narrative and consciousness of the Creator and truly tuning into the consciousness of the Beloved, the God consciousness. So, this is just a video to just bring awareness, just so that you're aware of what's happening. This manifestation of the Antichrist patterns, just know that you can choose another one the Christ patterns, which is love and peace and harmony and forgiveness and compassion for yourself and others. That narrative that you have in your mind, you can choose. You have a free will choice that you can choose the higher self-consciousness or the lower self-consciousness or the Antichrist patterns. You can choose. There is a choice between love or hate. And it starts with our narrative in our mind, the thoughts we think, how we treat ourselves, and how we treat others. When we treat each other disrespectfully, or we're disrespectful, when we throw out our toxic anger on someone, that's not the Christ pattern. When we are, cursing other people, or we're cursing at ourselves, or we're negative to the point of self-hate, or we're not balancing out with the true self patterns, it gets murky waters, guys. We are in a battle, not only externally, but internally for our own souls. So, how do we become aware of this? Self-awareness. Watch your thoughts. Watch what you're consuming on television and the music that you're listening to. Pay attention to what you are taking in from other people. Pay attention to all of that. The narrative, the consciousness. Is it love and above? Is it love, joy? Is it peace? Is it to care and share and to love one another? If it's not that pattern, then you know that there's something else running that person or in your own mind that's trying to drive you. That's one. The second tip is prayer. Prayer is great in calling in help. You're not alone. You can call in the divine intelligence, the creator. Creator is always available to support you in your life. You don't have to face these battles alone. The Creator is with you. And the Beloved is always there to support us when we're going through the battles, right? The free will choice to choose is key. And when we choose to call in or anchor into the Creator's love and His patterns, her patterns of love to lead us, then that is what will lead us to making the right choices. And then meditation is another way. You can find your own ways of coping mechanisms, right? Meditation, dancing, yoga, whatever it is that connects you to joy and thanksgiving and puts you into a higher vibe. The overall message here is that we are in a spiritual battle, and the battle is for our souls. And the way we overcome this battle is with the Creator, is with the Christ, is in the Christ consciousness. When we are leveling up to the Christ consciousness and tuning into that, the virtues of the Christ consciousness, of compassion, forgiveness, self-love, and care for our brothers and sisters, then we are illuminating and bringing in a higher consciousness into our day-to-day lives, and we're shifting from the old pattern of selfishness and self-deprecation and self-destruction to empowerment and our own inspiration and joy. We level up, So you're not alone, and we are being supported by the Creator, and you have a spiritual support system that can assist you. So if you are going through depression or sadness or anything, you feel lost, feel low in your thoughts, or you feel off, like you can tap into the Creator. You can call upon a higher power for assistance, your higher self, and utilize their support for this time. There's also an internal work that has to be done, that is making the unconscious conscious through shadow work, to be able to become conscious of what's running you, or running your world, or running your internal world, that's driving your thoughts and behaviors. It's kind of like shining the light on all the stuff that's not you, so that you can make a free will choice. Yesterday when I became aware of these thought forms, I had to make a conscious choice, and of course I called for help. So if you're feeling the battle inside, just know that you can there is a choice you can choose. Instead of hopelessness, despair, and the lower forces and octave of the forces, we can choose forgiveness, compassion, love, kindness for ourselves, being super gentle with ourselves, choosing that consciousness to help ourselves. Compassion could say, I'm doing the best that I can. Kindness could say, that part of ourselves could say, I'm just going to slow down and take it easy right now. I need a chill break. I need to take some time for me. I gotta love myself through this change or through what I'm going through, Those are ways we can talk to ourselves and ways that we can practice conscious self-love. Forgiveness could say, I forgive myself. Man, I made a mistake there, but I could learn. I'm so grateful for this learning opportunity. So you can pivot. You can turn all that gunk into the light. So utilizing those examples are ways you can talk to yourself. And then lastly, gratitude as a way to shift from one polarity to the next. Gratitude is great for shifting back to that balance. So you see, you're in the negative vortex, you can shift, even though I'm experiencing this right now, whatever the situation is, you can talk it out loud. Oh man, this isn't working, don't have this money, don't have that, whatever is going on in your life, this relationship happened, blah, blah, blah. Even though this happened, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful that I can make a choice. I can change this. These are powerful tools against the Antichrist. They're powerful tools against the Antichrist forces. And they're so powerful because what you're choosing is love instead. You're choosing to rewire your condition, your thoughts, and how you treat yourself to love. And that is powerful. This is valuable because it's practical, super practical. Like, we have free will choice. You have the choice to choose your thoughts, the choice to choose your actions, the choice to choose who you're going to be in every moment. If you're ever feeling off, something's taken over, that's not love. That's not love in your narrative, not love in your behavior. Then you say, this is not me. I know this isn't me. Therefore, what do I choose? So become conscious. What's running me? Is this my true self? Because it doesn't sound like it. If it's not, you can take a pause and then become conscious of what that is that's running. Be aware of it, and then you can make a choice, a free will choice to choose. There's more to this because that's not black and white for everyone. Everyone needs different types of solutions based upon what you're going through. But this is what I do to help myself navigate the day, because throughout the day these forces like to come and they like to try and take over, and I have to be like a hawk, like a vigilant hawk all the time. Like, I'm constantly watching myself and being aware of my thoughts and my feelings. Like, just being aware of your thoughts and feelings is powerful because you're saying, I'm guardian, I'm watching, I'm standing guard. You ain't come in here. You don't have jurisdiction here. You don't have jurisdiction here, Antichrist. You don't have jurisdiction here. What I'm saying is I'm standing up. I am defending the kingdom. That means I'm defending love. I'm defending the pattern of Christ. And that takes vigilance. That takes constant devotion. And sometimes I falter. Sometimes I'm not perfect, and I'm working on that, but it's a skill. It's like you're sharpening your axe and you're like, I'm gonna get better at this. I'm gonna get so good at watching my thoughts and my feelings. So I know when my true self's kicking in, when my true self's running, I'm in the flow, and when I'm in the vortex of something that's not who I am. And when you know and you can make that distinction, you can then choose and make the conscious choice of choosing the higher self. And the consciousness of the higher self is always for your empowerment, always to love you, always to give you the best in life, always for your best and highest good. It is always the voice of love. It is never ever putting you down. So if that's running, that ain't your true self. And that guardianship of you saying, I'm standing here, I'm watching, that's you saying, I'm not willing for the Antichrist to take over my heart and my mind. You will not run my consciousness. You will not run my choices. You will not run my decisions. You will not run my life. You will not run my future. And when we make those choices and those decisions, we're reprogramming and putting in the habit of the Christ pattern. And that takes patience, because we've been conditioned to hate ourselves. We've been conditioned to follow the decisions of the lower pattern. Some of us are, not all, but the conditioning is to walk away from purpose, to walk away from God, to walk away from the consciousness of love, and to choose things that are not the Christ pattern. And here's the thing, the Christ pattern, the Antichrist one, is very subtle sometimes. It will justify its ill regard. It would say, it could be like simple, like cursing somebody on the street, or an ill thought about someone else. Those subtleties, they can take root and form a tree. So when you're like that vigilant, you're like, there shall be no room for it. It's like you're saying no more to the patterns of the lower vortex of the selves that are trying to take over, dominate our world, and lead us to a path of depression and suicide. Just like what you see in the political arena right now. You see the battle between good and evil happening right now on the stage of our election, right? You see it happening right now in the public eye between one that is supporting our future of love and the best and highest good of our world and humanity and people's lives and free will choice and care and love for the people. And then you got one that has the complete opposite agenda, which is to control, manipulate, and to take away free will choice and to lead people to a life of depression and suicide. This is an internal battle and an external one. An internal battle because the Antichrist forces are trying to dominate humanity, abomination of desolation, trying to take over the temple, your crown, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and doing it silently, sometimes without you even knowing it. Okay? And then sometimes even blatantly now, right? And then you got the Christ pattern showing up, which is the opposite. Which one are you choosing? This is the choice. So you see the external right now between the election. Which one are you choosing? Because it's a choice we're all internally making and externally with our vote. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to bring that up because it's real and it's happening, and we all have a choice to make. And only by the grace of God we can go through this time with His grace and love and guidance, because we need it. We need the Creator more now than ever. If before you question that, now more than ever, because the future of where we are depends upon that, which is a shift in our hearts to follow God, to move from pride and to follow the Creator, because the choices that we're making as a humanity, as a people here in the United States, the choices we're making is leading us on a path we have a choice to make. You can even follow the Creator, right? And you can see the Creator's light upon the nominees of Kamala Harris and Tim. You can see the light of the Creator there. You can see the love. You can see the care. You can see the benevolence, right? And then you have the opposite. And if you look there, you don't see the light there. At least I don't. Okay? So, and that's the truth. That's just really the truth. If you've seen the Project 2025 and you've seen all those stuff, you'll see. Anyway, we need the Creator. Major prayers. Major. We need prayer to guide us through this time, because the path, whichever one we choose, if people choose to follow the path of the Antichrist, I mean, at the end of the day, they can choose grace, love, and God's love and mercy to guide us through grace to back home, or they can choose the Antichrist, evil, and all of that to go back home. Is either turmoil, karma, and havoc, death, suicide, and all that depression that party's going to bring, Or you got love and a prosperous future of hope and a future built where people have free will choice. Just that. Just have free will choice. All right. That's a heated debate. I don't usually like to go out here and talk about politics because it's so polarizing. People are either one or the other, and they like to leave hate comments and stuff. I'm not here to convert anyone. I'm not here to tell you what to do, because everyone has to follow their heart. You choose what you feel in your heart to do, okay? But I'm just sharing from my truth. This is my truth of what I'm feeling and seeing, and I'm sharing it here. So I want to say thank you for listening. I honor you. I'm grateful for you watching, and I really, truly wish for you the best. As you go through this time, know that you're not alone. And the Creator, the beloveds, the higher self, whatever name you give to the higher power, irrespective of religion, okay? We are all one. We're all one humanity. And I'm like all stuffy, but thank you for watching. And I love you. Wish you all the best in your choices and your life. And during this time, just know that you have an anchor. You got the anchor. You got the anchor. If you choose that anchor, you got an anchor to go through this time. The Creator is with us. The best anchor that you can anchor into is the Creator of all that is. That anchor will have your back. It will never leave your side. It will always be with you and has your best interest at heart. All right, guys. I'm tearing up. Thank you. Namaste.